मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा
Good evening. Open page number 7. I think you are also familiar with page number 9 also, na? Swamiji explained, no? So 7, 8, 9. Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahabhiyankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tejosi Tejomai Dehi Viyamasi Viyamai Dehi Balamasi Balamai Dehi Ojosi Ojomai Dehi Manyurasi Manyomai Dehi Sahosi Sahomai Dehi. All of you are looking so happy because last class of the week. Okay, let us end this week with a story. Once upon a time, there lived a king, and he was in the habit of asking a question to whoever visited his kingdom. Who is great? A sannyasin or a householder? Many people used to come to him and they tried to answer his questions, but they could not. Some asserted that sannyasin is greater. Then the king asked, prove it. But the king is very wise king. When they came up with arguments, he also gave some counter arguments, and the king won in the discussion. So the king asked those people to renounce the world and get married. And some asserted that the householder is great. Then also king again argued, gave counter arguments, and in that arguments also king used to win. And he asked them to remain as householders. Then after some days, a older monk has come, and the king asked the same question. Then the older wise monk said to the king, "If you want to know the answer and understand that, come and live with me for a few days." Saying so, the older sannyasin, along with the king, went out of the kingdom. After traveling through several lands, they reached a kingdom. There, a big ceremony was going on. That is, the princess is going to choose her husband. That is Swayamvara. The ceremony is going on. What is going to happen? Let us see. Let us see this ceremony. Okay. Saying so, both of them were watching. They entered the place where the princess will come with garland in her hands, and they reached that place. They were standing there, and soonly the princess, a beautiful princess with a wonderful garland in her hands, she came out, and her maids, her servants were describing about the princess who came from various kingdoms. Some are learned people, some are very handsome, and some had a lot of wealth, a very big kingdom, like that. A very big territory they had. Like that, the maids were describing. But the princess did not like any one of them, but she reached the end of the people. So, in the gathering she saw suddenly a young sannyasin. He was so handsome, and at first sight she liked him very much. She fallen in love with him. So she threw the garland in his neck. So that young monk, "What is marriage to me? I am a sannyasin." Saying so, he threw off the garland and he started towards the forest. Then that princess also followed him, and this older monk and king, both of them also followed this pair. That young monk entered into a forest, and it is a dense forest. Suddenly he disappeared. So the princess sat down under a tree and weeping. Then this older monk and king comforted her and assured her that tomorrow morning, early morning, because it is night now, tomorrow early morning we will drop you at your house, at your home. So don't worry. And those three people were resting under the tree. And on the branch of that tree, a bird family is living. A bird, its mate, and three baby birds. They were living, and the male bird thought that it is obligatory. It felt obligatory that it is its responsibility to feed the guests. So it brought a fire twig, and it threw that fire twig in front of other twigs under the tree. So it made fire, but they found there is no food in the house. So the male bird asked those three visitors, "Please eat my flesh." Saying so, it jumped into the fire. They tried to save, but that fire was so intense fire, so it immediately got burnt. And these are here three young people are there. So one bird flesh is not sufficient. Saying so, the female bird also jumped into that fire, and it also burnt up. And it is our dharma to follow our parents. Saying so, all three baby birds also jumped into the fire. They tried to save all these birds, but they could not save. All 5 birds burnt up. And even though they could not eat that flesh of those birds, but in the morning, the king dropped the princess in her house, and after that, the king and older monk were again traveling back to their kingdom. Oh, king, have you seen? If you want to live in this world like a householder, if you want to live in this world like a householder, at any time you should be ready to sacrifice yourself. That is a ideal householder's life. If you want to live like a sannyasi, one has to live like the young sannyasi. He was offered a beautiful princess, half kingdom, money, wealth, power, and objects of enjoyment, sexual enjoyment. He did not yield to those temptations. So each is great in his own place. The choice is yours. All right? Saying so, the older monk said goodbye to that king, and the king also very much impressed with the answer, and taking this story as the ideal, all the people of the kingdom started forming their character. If you have to live like a householder life, okay, it is a greater responsibility. It is not for enjoyment of sexual life or having children or having progeny or having wealth or having a house or any other temptations to enjoy. It is a dharma. It's the greatest dharma. Saying so, all the people of the kingdom started building their character. And some people also renounced, taking the example of the young monk. Okay? And the older sannyasi left the choice. So the people of the kingdom followed this example, and all the people of the kingdom lived happily. Okay? Have a wonderful evening ahead. Please proceed to the class.